Tonight on Cronkite News, could this be one of the busiest travel holidays ever? What to expect if you're headed out of town for Thanksgiving.
Plus, the Phoenix Suns host the Portland Trail Blazers for its third game in the in-season tournament. What it's going to take for the Suns to have a shot at the NBA Cup.
And a classic college rivalry awaits this Thanksgiving weekend. We take a look at the rich history between the Sun Devils and the Wildcats. And with that, good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Matt Venezia.
And I'm Jeff Hinkle. Thank you for joining us.
The COVID-19 pandemic is pretty much in the rearview mirror and the holidays are just ahead.
Combine those two and you get a holiday travel season that is expected to reach near record levels in the skies and on the roads. Alexandria Cullen reports from our Washington bureau.
Experts say this could be one of the busiest travel holidays ever, and Kathleen Walker has already experienced this firsthand.
You know what? It was so crowded. Like, we both have Clear. The Clear line was longer than the TSA line.
Walker was just getting off a flight from Phoenix at Reagan National Airport Monday. She was one of an estimated 55 million Americans that AAA predicts will be traveling for the Thanksgiving holiday. And AAA spokesperson Julian Paredes says Arizona is no different.
About 1.1 million people in Arizona are expected to be traveling. That's the second busiest that Arizona has seen since AAA started keeping track.
Paredes says metropolitan cities like Phoenix are expected to be especially busy. Sky Harbor Airport is preparing for the rush by offering reserved parking and reserved time spots and security screenings, among other services.
A great time to come through Sky Harbor and to visit through, and we hope to make that as easy and seamless as possible for sure.
Maybe not seamless, but Walker said it can help to put things in perspective.
Very grateful we're post-COVID and we can actually spend time with our loved ones.
The travel craziness is far from over. It's expected that both Wednesday and Sunday will be extremely heavy travel days. In Washington, Alexandria Cullen, Cronkite News.
With Thanksgiving just around the corner, what should we expect when it finally arrives? Sienna Monet joins us now from the Cronkite Weather Center with what travelers might encounter across the country.
If you're looking to travel tomorrow, be sure to take a look at this weather because we are going to be seeing some heavy rain and snow along the East Coast in areas such as Boston, New York, Washington, and Atlanta. So be sure to call your airlines to avoid any possible flight delays or cancellations for tomorrow. Looking into our weather here in the valley, we're going to see a high of 73 for this Thursday. It's going to be partly cloudy with some amazing weather. So be sure to stay tuned for our future forecast in just a few minutes.
Well, Matt, with Turkey Day just a few days away, I'm sure many families are doing some last-minute grocery shopping.
Jeff, I don't doubt it. And luckily for them, it won't cost nearly as much to make those dinners this year compared to last. And Emily Mai joins us from the Google touchscreen with those numbers.
That's right. Families across the country will be paying 4% less for their Thanksgiving dinner this year. According to the American Farm Bureau Federation, the average cost for a 10-person dinner will be just over $61. As you can see, it is considerably more expensive this year than in 2021, but that is on the national scale. Here in Arizona, families are seeing a dramatic drop in their Thanksgiving costs. Last year, a turkey dinner with the trimmings would cost an Arizona family about $72. This year, that number is down nearly $20 over the past 20 years. The dinner costs usually trend up with a few down years sprinkled in, but when compared to 2022, this year is the steepest decline since 2009. Now, if we look at some of the individual costs of the items, we can see what's driving that drop. The biggest factor this year is the bird itself. A 16-pound turkey cost almost $14 less than it did a year ago. And the only main items that have seen an increase in cost for 2023 are the veggies, but that margin only adds up to 7 cents. Maybe use those few extra dollars for your holiday shopping this year, and with that, have a happy Thanksgiving. From the Google touchscreen, I'm Emily Mai. Now back to Matt and Jeff.
Thank you, Emily. Good numbers there on some of those meals to look out for. And now with all that said, Jeff, if you had to pick one side, where are you going?
I mean, it's like 1A and 1B for me. Like, you can't beat a good homemade stuffing or a good homemade mac and cheese with like the breadcrumbs on top of it, like fresh out of the oven. You can smell that in the morning. Ugh.
And you take it right out and you know what you got the rest of the way. Well, if you wanted to know what side dishes that people across the country are thinking about this Thanksgiving, now you can.
Yeah, that's right. Google has come out with a list of the most searched side dishes for each state. The data was compiled between October 6th and November 6th. The most searched one here in Arizona and overall was green bean casserole. But some states like Hawaii, Kansas, and Wyoming searched for more unique side dishes, including bruschetta, cucumber salad, and creamy polenta.
But before we get to those Turkey Day football matchups and all the food, let's enjoy some hoops. The Phoenix Suns host the Portland Trail Blazers, and Suns fans will see a familiar face back on the court at Footprint Center. DeAndre Ayton will suit up at Footprint Center for the first time since being traded from Phoenix to Portland back in late September. And since joining the Blazers, Ayton has averaged more than 12 points and 11 rebounds a game. The Suns, on the other hand, will still be without Bradley Beal, who's been dealing with a disc issue in his back.
But this isn't a regular game for both teams. The Suns are still alive in the inaugural NBA in-season tournament. In order for the Suns to win West Group A in a tiebreaker, they need to win these next two games against the Trailblazers and the Grizzlies, and the Lakers will have to lose one game in group play. The bottom line, the Suns need to win these remaining two games to advance. Coming up next, a top 3 local high school football star has made his decision on where he will take his talents to next.
Jeff, that's right, and the job is not finished. What this multifaceted talent is currently focused on before playing at the next level.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
this is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news.
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
And entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
This is CN2 Go. I'm Emily Olson with your Wednesday news briefing.
Do you want to create innovative content for Cronkite News? Do you enjoy listening to podcasts? Then CN2 Go is for you. Cronkite News to Go is a podcast where students cover the latest headlines. Students become audio producers and hosts and will learn how to write, record, and edit stories. You can listen to the latest episodes on these platforms.
Did you know newsrooms today are looking for bilingual journalists? Cronkite Noticias prepares you to cover diverse communities. In Cronkite Noticias, you will obtain an unforgettable experience.
Nopales como este van a tumbar.
Cronkite Noticias.
And develop your skills with the latest technology.
Welcome back. Big win for Centennial High School football. The Coyotes won its first ever Open Division playoff game on Friday against Desert Mountain 24-3. And one of the top prospects in the state helped make it happen. Cronkite News reporter Philip Level has more on the impact this two-way player has made on his team.
Noah Carter is the number 2 prospect in Arizona from the class of 2024. He's listed at 6'3", 225 pounds, and plays on both offense and defense. During the regular season, he led the Centennial Coyotes in sacks, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. He's also a game changer on special teams.
He looks like a gazelle when he runs. He takes these real big long strides, and it looks like he's not running very hard, but he's gaining great yardage.
Carter has committed to play at the University of Washington, but his focus right now is firmly on Centennial and trying to win a state championship.
Personally, it's just a blessing to start off with. We haven't won an open game ever in Centennial history, so getting that first one under our belt is good. You know, our job's not finished, for sure.
This was the first playoff win for Centennial in 5 years. In 2018, the Coyotes won the 5A state championship, but they have been unable to escape the first round until this season.
Well, I think it means maybe we're getting back to where we used to be, but I think it gives us encouragement. It lets us know that we're on the right track, doing the right things, and we just have to keep working.
Desert Mountain previously had scored at least 21 points in every game this season, but the Coyotes held them to just a field goal. Centennial's defense will have to remain stout again in order to win their semifinal matchup against Basha High School on Friday night. In Peoria, Philip Level, Cronkite News.
On the other side of the Open Division playoff bracket, top-seeded Liberty High School will take on Highland High School on Friday. The winner of that game will face either Basha or Centennial in the state championship at Mountain America Stadium.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a beautiful Thanksgiving day here in the Valley, but there may be some rain on the way, and Sienna Monet joins us now from the Cronkite Weather Center with what we can expect.
Let's take a look at this Tuesday evening. We're going to be in the 60s. It's going to be right around that perfect time to start opening up the windows and the doors in the evening. At about 8 p.m., it's going to be 68 degrees, and then it's going to drop all the way to 65 at 10 p.m. Looking at our low temperatures, we're going to be in the 50s here in the Valley, 53 in Phoenix, 20 up in Window Rock as our lowest low, 37 in Page, and then 49 in Bullhead City. For our highs, we're going to be in the 70s, especially along the west part of the state. Up in Bullhead City, it's going to be 74, 77 here in the Valley, 75 down in Tucson, and then 56 up in Flagstaff, along with 61 in Payson. Taking a look at our 8-day cast, we're going to have some great weather this weekend. We're going to have a high of 73 on Friday with some clouds moving on through. It's going to be a high of 69 on Saturday with a 20% chance of rain, so it'd be nice if we get a little bit of drizzle here this weekend. And then on Sunday, we're going to have a high of 71 degrees, and then it's going to be a low of 49, which is below average for this time of year. And then looking into your work week next week, we're going to be still in the lower 70s with 72 on Monday, 73 on Tuesday with some more clouds, and then on Wednesday we're going to see those clear sunny skies with a high of 74 and a low of 49. I'm Sienna Monet from the Cronkite Weather Center. Back to you.
Sienna, it looks like that cold weather front is finally making its way into the Valley. And coming up next, President Biden spoke today about the ongoing fentanyl crisis and a potential deal to free some of the hundreds of hostages being held by Hamas in Gaza.
Kenji Ito joins us now from the newsroom.
Yeah, thanks. Still to come, I will have the latest on President Biden along with One Valley's company's mission to help amputees adapt to changes to their new way of life. And next, we will share how this group is helping one military veteran regain his identity.
We were driving, I remember just being in the far left lane and a car kind of swerving into me. I remember sliding, and that was it.
Find out what's on Arizona PBS at azpbs.org/schedule.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
this is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news,
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
This is CN to Go. I'm Emily Olson with your Wednesday news briefing.
Do you want to create innovative content for Cronkite News? Do you enjoy listening to podcasts? Then CN to Go is for you. Cronkite News to Go is a podcast where students cover the latest headlines. Students become audio producers and hosts and will learn how to write, record, and edit stories. You can listen to the latest episodes on these platforms.
Did you know newsrooms today are looking for bilingual journalists? Cronkite Noticias prepares you to cover diverse communities. In Cronkite Noticias, you will obtain an unforgettable experience
Nopales como este van a tumbar.
Cronkite Noticias.
And develop your skills with the latest technology.
Good evening and welcome to this Cronkite News Report. I'm Kenji Ito. Earlier today, President Biden spoke at the White House about the ongoing fentanyl crisis and the war in the Middle East. The president called on Congress to address the drug crisis by passing a budget request that would up resources to prevent fentanyl from entering the country. It would also provide more funds for support services. At the meeting, President Biden also commented on the attempts to free hostages being held by Hamas.
We're now very close, very close. We could bring some of these hostages home very soon, but I don't want to get into the details of things because nothing is done until it's done. And we have more to say, we will, but things are looking good at the moment.
The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is struggling to meet demand. The 3-digit number that can be called or texted was meant to make crisis care easier. Since its launch in July 2022, the hotline has gotten 2.5 million calls. That number is expected to rise to 6.5 million by the end of this year. With such a high call volume, experts say the problem are a lack of mental health resources and a lack of stable funding. The government originally invested almost $1 billion into the hotline. According to the Amputee Coalition, about 185,000 amputations occur in the United States every year. A company in Mesa is doing their part to help amputees get back to their everyday lives through prosthetics. Cronkite News reporter Andrew Lind explains how this group is helping one military vet regain his identity.
We were driving, I remember just being in the far left lane and a car kind of swerving into me. I remember sliding, and that was it.
It was the night that forever changed Chris Horner's life.
Initially, when I first woke up, I was like, I just got a broken leg, I just didn't realize how bad it was.
No, but hardware was put through it.
Horner was days away from being discharged from the U.S. Marine Corps when he was struck by a car in a hit-and-run motorcycle accident near Camp Pendleton in San Diego. The crash eventually caused Horner to have his left leg amputated below the knee. It was an accident that left him searching for a new life.
Now I'm Chris, the amputee. Now I'm oh, you guys remember that guy Chris? Yeah, he's an amputee now. So now I'm I guess just trying to, get comfortable in my own skin again.
Limb specialist Autobot Care in Mesa has been helping amputees in the Valley for 24 years. They are one of the only companies in Arizona that specializes in prosthetics, and the mission is simple: getting patients back to their everyday lives.
The fact that, a person can come into my office and I can have them leaving, being able to complete these activities based on the care that we give here just sounded like something I would love to come in to work every day.
The process from when a patient walks in the door to when they leave with a fully functioning prosthesis can be long. The first step is constructing the check socket. Depending on patient needs, different thicknesses of fiberglass are heated in an oven before being fit over a mold. After the edges of the check socket are sanded and smoothed, the check socket is brought here to the alignment jig where it is conjoined with an attachment plate. The angle in which the socket is conjoined to the attachment plate has to do with the patient's lifestyle, and for Chris, he is very active, so his prosthesis will directly align with his daily activities.
In the Marine Corps for 4 years, I did take to running. It became a hobby of mine. I really enjoyed it. I actually had a running leg and everything made through this clinic, through this office, and about a week later, I had an orthopedic appointment, and they told me I cannot run.
Although Horner was told he can no longer run, he's finding other ways to stay active, such as continuing to work out or going on hikes. Getting patients back to their day-to-day activities has been a little easier in recent years as technology has exponentially improved. Now devices can be 3D printed, and they have learned how the human body functions to better serve each situation.
These microprocessor knees are intuitive, and they learn how amputees walk.
Despite the hardships endured, one thing is clear.
You're really just a normal person. You may not you're not physically as normal, but really my brain, it still works the same way. I can't speak for everyone, but for me, myself, I would just like to point out that everything's the same.
In Mesa, Andrew Lind, Cronkite News.
And that's it from the newsroom. I'm Kenji Ito, Cronkite News. Now back to Jeff and Matt at the desk.
Thank you, Kenji. And coming up next, the game the Sun Devils and Wildcats fans have been waiting for, just in time for the holiday weekend.
Stick around for an exclusive piece on one of the biggest rivalries in college sports.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
This is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news,
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
Did you know newsrooms today are looking for bilingual journalists? Cronkite Noticias prepares you to cover diverse communities. In Cronkite Noticias, you will obtain an unforgettable experience
Nopales como este van a tumbar.
Cronkite Noticias.
and develop your skills with the latest technology.
Three, two, one. Cronkite News. Get real professional experience in areas such as reporting, broadcast editing, and behind-the-scenes production, such as technical director and audio.
Kill the mics.
Or go out in the field and cover important local stories
Learn and master the English language.
in a fun, welcoming atmosphere. Cronkite News. The future starts now.
Here at the Walter Cronkite School, students produce award-winning content that focuses on health disparities in underserved communities and how to turn things around. In Cronkite News and Cronkite Noticias, students cover stories that affect people of color, the LGBTQ+ community, people with disabilities, and others across the Southwest.
We highlight big problems that are often overlooked in communities that are underserved.
Those stories not only inform and educate people about the challenges, but we work hard to highlight potential solutions. In the Cronkite Agency, students work to connect with community members through social media campaigns in English and Spanish.
Being a Hispanic myself, it's nice to be able to give back to my own community.
Find more of our health coverage at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Welcome back to Cronkite News. One of the most famous rivalries in college athletics returns to the Valley this weekend. Jeff, the Territorial Cup.
Yeah, the annual battle between Arizona State and the University of Arizona's football teams dates back to 1899. Nick Borgia gives us a history lesson to get ready for this weekend's matchup.
They outscore the Sun Devils 28-21 in an electrifying second half. And for the first time since 2016, the Arizona Wildcats will take home the Territorial Cup.
Everybody has said since I got here, this is the game, but it's something that I knew. And unless you've been in it, unless you've been a part of it, or unless you're from here and know it, you don't understand how intense the rivalry really is. It comes down to the will, power to win. In rivalry games, it doesn't matter what records are. It's essentially, I told our guys, there's two seasons when you play at ASU. There's the first 11 games, and that's one season. And then there's the team down south week, and that's an entirely another season.
We know we got to control what we can, and we got to give it everything we got. But this is the last one. This is our last game. There's no bowl game for us. We knew that going into this season. So this is our bowl game. This is our chance to send out the seniors the right way and to make sure we come home with a victory.
This game means a lot to everybody in the Valley, everybody associated with Arizona, the state as a whole. I mean, this game is, like I said, its own season.
And they're going to run it with Wiley. And he's got the first down. Wiley is gone. Michael Wiley, touchdown.
And off the play action to the corner. And Pearson's in. Touchdown Sun Devils.
2nd down and 2. They're running with him. Williams into the end zone. Touchdown. Arizona, our 6th lead change of the day. Pass it here. Conyers, the tight end, is open. And he takes it into Wildcat territory. Pushed out of bounds.
Matt, it looks like things are getting kind of chippy between Wilbur and Sparky there, even between the players. And I mean, this season's not going to be much different, is it?
And that tells you right there everything you need to expect for Saturday must-watch football. And with that, that's it for Cronkite News. Thanks so much for joining us.
And to see top Arizona stories anytime, log on to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.